Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is the Piracy Show. Now, today's Piracy Show is going to be a little slightly ship updates-ish. Just simply because some information came out on Reddit, I believe yesterday now, that was very interesting. Someone was asking, what kind of concept sales can we look forward to in 2016? And Ben Lesnick answered. He said, we're in the early stages for the Prowler, Small Corvette, and Pirate Interceptor right now. There's plenty we'd like to do, and a few that may move ahead sooner, but the goal is to finish up the ships that have been promised first. So, hold on. Let's go back here. We're in the early stages for the Prowler. Okay, now the Prowler we know about. The Prowler we've heard about. And the Pirate Interceptor, we know the Drake Buccaneer. Now that more or less confirms, because the Drake Buccaneer said that, it hadn't been 100% confirmed that they were going to do it, but it was very, there were very strong indicators that they were going to move ahead with this. So these are two ships that have been promised. But then he says the small Corvette. Now, of course, we know that a Corvette has been promised. It's the replacement for the oh man, and I can't believe the name just popped out of my head there. The Idris. Now, the Idris, which was originally a Corvette, but then for story reasons, whatever, it was bumped up to a frigate for Squadron 42. But, it left that gap in the ship lineup of a Corvette, and now all of a sudden it's back as a small Corvette. Now, why call it the small Corvette? Why not just call it the Corvette? No, it's the Corvette. No, but he says small Corvette. So, now, technically this can kind of make sense for a couple of reasons. Now, you got to put in another capital ship that you weren't counting on having to do. So, if you make it a smaller, more compact capital ship, it's, it would be, more reasonable to assume that you'd be able to get it done faster. But a smaller ship, also implies a less expensive ship. Now, the original Idris concept for the Corvette, when the Idris was a Corvette, was what, $800? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But it was $800 the first time the Idris was offered up, right? I mean, I'm pretty darn sure. I should probably stop this narration in Google, but I'm a little bit lazy, so we're just going to go ahead and say $800. But if this is like a smaller ship, so could this be more affordable than the Idris originally was? I mean, could it be? Now, I know I'm like speculating based on a single word in a sentence dropped on Reddit, but I mean, it does tend to stick out. I mean, tell me I'm not the only one who's slightly crazy, but the fact that he says it's small Corvette, he doesn't say Corvette, he says small Corvette. I'm sorry, that just gets my wheels turning, and that gets me thinking, and I'm thinking, okay, so a much more affordable capital ship. Like a capital ship for the masses, and that actually has me interested, because, when I look at a ship like the Idris, or I look at a ship like the Javelin, people get excited about them, and I go, no, but a small Corvette, that kind of sounds like like a commerce raiding vessel, like a privateering ship. That sounds exciting to me. That sounds interesting. And I mean, what is it? The Idris is what, 13 crew, 10 crew, somewhere in there. Small Corvette would be less crew. Something that, I do have the NPC packages. I could manage that. See, and it's just one little thing like this, and my wheels just get turning. And my brain starts exploring ideas and notions, and then trying to defeat those notions, and then come back and then do it all over again. But yeah, a small Corvette, that has got me really, really excited, and that's kind of why, even though this is technically something that I should say for ship updates, I kind of put it into the Piracy Show because, well, I mean, obviously these are three vessels that would be of great interest to a pirate. I mean, one, the Prowler, a stealth boarding ship, that's a given. A Pirate Interceptor, of course, that's a given. But a small Corvette, I mean, and I'm assuming here, but kind of a capital ship that the masses could afford. That's what I read into it. And so, obviously, that would be something that would be interesting to pirates. An affordable capital ship. That could be huge news if it does turn out to be true. And now, of course, obviously, I know what questions I'm going to be pasting into Twitch chat on Reverse the Verse on Friday now. And I just spam, 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 spam. Tell us about the Corvette. Tell us about the Corvette. Tell us about the Corvette. What are the ideas behind it? Tell us, tell us, tell us. What do you mean by small? What do you mean by small? I'm going to drive them freaking nuts. Just you wait and see. But, yeah. Up until now, when capital ships had come out, I had always discounted them because it was simply too much responsibility and flying around with a target painted on my back. I've already done that once in EVE Online with a Nyx. I'm not doing that again. In fact, at some point I should go and revisit my account and just kind of sit there and stare at that Nyx. Oh, God knows I put in enough work to get it. But this has me very interested and very excited. And this is the first time I've ever really considered capital ownership. I guess technically you could call the Reclaimer a capital, but the Reclaimer was intended as a moneymaker, as a cash generator. But, and a ship that looks like something out of Aliens with a giant mechanical claw on it. Of course I was gonna buy it. Of course. But this, this is a very interesting idea. Because it has me sitting back and kind of saying, I might have to rethink some of my outlook on combat. I now have to. I now have some ideas that I have to explore. I have some interest. This really does get my wheels turning, and now I have to think of new things. Sorry, I just had to sneeze there. I just had to kind of pause the recording a little bit, but yeah, this definitely has me thinking in new directions and conjuring up new ideas. I'm sure maybe there are some of you out there who are kind of thinking about this too. Now, hopefully, this is going to be the first kind of ship of this area that isn't going to come out in some kind of ridiculous limited sale where it's like, okay, there are going to be 1,000 of these things for sale in 3, 2, 1, gone. Too late. Oh, sorry. No, they're all gone. Yep. Oh, sorry. No, none for you. You don't get a capital ship because you don't know how to hit F5 like a pro. No. Hopefully this will be something that will be in an open sale, not limited numbers. Every time that happens, I kind of think that it's kind of bullshit, I know they want to limit numbers. They don't want everyone flying around in an Idris, or everyone, kind of feeling that they have to fly around in an Idris. But I think that there should be at least a capital combat ship that's in reach for people. And if they're doing like a small Corvette, that's what this sounds like to me. And if it's it's an open sale and not a limited sale, that becomes very interesting to me. So obviously this is definitely something I am going to be keeping my eye on, believe you me, into the future. And I'm going to be pestering CIG about this because this definitely has me interested. So I will, I guess, kind of rejig my mental schedule, and this week's Piracy show will become next week's Piracy show, since this obviously interrupted things. And this is definitely something worth exploring into the future, and I will be keeping tabs on it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.